Jack, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing quite well. Excited to talk about the NFC South, the division that houses your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Give me a little vibe check. How you feeling about New Orleans going into this season?
Here's how we're feeling. You're right in that it houses my favorite team, but you're also forgetting to note that they're probably going to win the NFC South this year
Oh yes,
because
okay.
they are absolutely stacked. I think Saints take this division. I'm obviously very biased, but Saints take this division.
All right, so yeah, right off the top, you got the Saints winning the division. How about for the second place in the division?
That's fair. I think second place, I think very fair to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think
Hmm.
those two probably like in the long term interchangeable one and two, right?
Yep.
In reality. I think the Bucks still have Tom Brady as long as he stays healthy and at that high level that he still is competing at.
Hmm.
He's got the weapons. He's got a kind of banged up O line, but everything else on the defense is pretty clean. So that
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me.
All right, I had to ask too, just because I have flipped. I have the Buccaneers and then the Saints. Though I do have the Saints making the wild card, and it's probably mostly because Jack, you probably don't have any fear of Tom Brady. I know he beat the Saints in the
Yeah,
playoffs once, but every other time the Saints have played them, the Saints have made
four
him
and
their
one.
bitch
Yeah,
essentially. Um, I, as a Dolphins fan, even though the Dolphins were successful in the sense that like they had the most wins against Tom Brady of any of the division, he still just really took it to the Dolphins many times. So I have a fear of Tom Brady, so that it prevents me, I think, from picking against them. But what do you think about the Saints really matches up to continue this regular season dominance against the Buccaneers and maybe make my prediction not come to fruition? Which I hope it does because I fucking hate Tom Brady.
look, man, we're on the same page. I
Hmm.
can't stand that man anymore. He needs to stop. Go away.
Yes, I thought
Um,
it was over.
I
I
thought so
had
too.
hope for a few months.
Here we are. It was what
Hmm.
was it, 40 something days? Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
best 40 days of my life. I think the honestly the pass rush is going to be a big defense for the
Hmm.
Saints, no pun intended. I think really actually they're going on the offense because Brady's O-line right now is demolished,
Hmm.
right? Lots of dudes that are out, lots of dudes with smaller lingering injuries that'll probably carry over into the regular season.
Hmm.
So we have to take advantage of that as much as possible to take down that high-powered offense. Their defense is solid, so I can see that being a problem, but I think the Saints D is better, and I think
Hmm.
that's what ends up giving us the edge.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Obviously, when Tom Brady took that 11-day break, it was like maybe he saw the state of the offensive line and was like, you know what, I'm good.
You
Actually,
recover. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, this is a disaster. We got retirements, we got injuries. It's just
yeah.
it's no good. But yeah, we'll see. I think the Saints are being slept on personally.
I do too.
Just generally because I never hear like anybody talk about them. But I mean that defense is legit, and if Jameis Winston can stay healthy, which who knows with ACL injuries, but I
Right,
mean it's not like he was really relying on his legs necessarily. He was good
no,
to like escape a little bit, but he's certainly not like like Lamar Jackson. He's not. His game doesn't revolve around his legs. It revolves around his tremendous arm talent. I mean, the reason
right,
he was the first overall pick in the
right.
draft by the Buccaneers. But I think he was much improved last season, and I do think if he's healthy, he can continue that way. And if not, I think Andy Dalton is better than the 1-2 punch of Taysom Hill and the other guy from Denver, Trevor Simeon, right? That was his name.
Assuming, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he was awful. I don't think he won one game last year,
No,
right?
he
Yeah,
was pretty bad.
he's bad. Let alone the guy they had to start against the Dolphins on Monday night because of
Ian Book,
COVID. Yeah, Ian Book.
he's
He
gone. He's
well,
not. He actually got cut. Yeah,
he got
he's
cut.
out.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
I mean, rough spot to have to
Was
start like with like most of the team, not most, but a lot of the team out for COVID reasons. But
right. Oh,
yeah, that wasn't
still.
any good. So I think the Saints are being slept on. Look for them to surprise. All right, who you got in number three in this division?
I think I'd actually take the Falcons in that third
Okay.
spot. That's because of Drake London. I think we're really sleeping on him.
Mm,
I think that there is a lot of opportunity there. I don't know about Marcus Mariota, right? I don't know
yep.
what he's going to be if he's even the long-term solution this season, right? Will he get usurped? I don't know. I don't know. But right now, Mariota was a good quarterback when he played in Tennessee.
Hmm.
Um, I think overall he's going to be a game manager, and if Drake London can elevate his game, and if he can elevate Drake London's game simultaneously, I think they'll be okay. Their
Yeah,
defense
so
thinks so, but I think
yeah.
let me clarify too. Big gap between 1 and 2,
Yep.
and then there's the gap, and then 3 and 4 for sure.
Yeah. All right. So for 3, well, to touch on that, yeah, I think the Falcons potentially have a good chance to be a pretty high-powered offense given Kyle Pitts, who hopefully this season will have more touchdowns. I don't know what happened. He really, in every sense of the word, stepped into the shoes left by Julio Jones by being a great receiver in between the red zone and then completely disappearing when it came to actually score touchdowns, much like Julio Jones. But yeah, I think him and Drake London and Marcus Mariota. I feel like I want Mariota to be better than he is. Like I was a fan of him in college. I thought he was going to be great for Tennessee. He just ended up being like you said, like a decent quarterback, but couldn't get them quite over level. I mean, he had that fun touchdown to himself against the Chiefs in the playoffs. That was probably the highlight of his Tennessee career, but ultimately replaced by Ryan Tannehill, which, you know, I'm familiar with. And Ryan Tannehill has played decently with the Titans, but if you're being usurped, as you said, by Ryan Tannehill, I don't know what that necessarily says about you.
Right.
I personally do think the Panthers have a better shot to finish in third, but I might just be like in the hype of Baker Mayfield revenge tour. Like I don't know if I'd necessarily like him as a great quarterback who can carry a team, but as far as like him being potentially elevated by having to carry the Panthers and having been shunned by the team that he led to the playoffs in Cleveland. Right. I think that's like 5 or 6 wins right there. Not great, but maybe enough to finish third in the division. What do you think about the Panthers?
No, I think that's a fair point too, and I don't want to sleep on the Panthers either. I think the Panthers definitely have a better quarterback situation, right? I think a lot of people take Baker over Mariota.
Oh, I would be surprised if anyone wouldn't take Baker over Mariota. But
I think you switch these two quarterbacks, and I think the Falcons are the clear front runner there. I don't know. I think the Panthers' defense is okay. I think Stephon Gilmore is a little overpaid for his age at this point in production. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I still am. I'll still take the Falcons at 3. I think the Panthers overall do have not a high-powered offense, and I don't know, man. That receiving core.
It's really going to come down to if Christian McCaffrey is going to actually be on the field this season or not. We'll see. We don't know. I didn't draft him in fantasy because I'm not confident that he's going to be there.
Nope, I avoided him.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. And like you said, they might be sleeping on Panthers. Well, if you're sleeping on the Panthers, it's to get like 6, maybe 7 wins. But Matt Rule will definitely be fired this season. It will be interesting to see. Rule. I know he seems fine, but
good guy. But you're right, he's gone.
Yeah, 100%. He's done this season. I don't know what the odds are for him to be the first coach taken out or not. We'll see there. But yeah, it all depends. Honestly, I think Carolina can count this season as a success if they beat the Browns in Week 1, and then after that,
it's a wash.
Yeah, whatever happens. Because most likely, if you're a Panthers fan, you're probably going to want them to finish not that great so that you can have a better chance at one of these quarterbacks coming out in the next year. So, yeah, those are our rankings for the NFC South. We both agree Bucs and Saints are going to be probably playoff teams in this NFC. I don't think that, the Saints were on the path to win the division last season before Jameis Winston got hurt and everything fell down around them. So, I don't think that it's too crazy to say that these will be the 2 teams coming out of the South.
For sure. I totally agree. I think we can definitely guarantee that the Panthers and Falcons will be in the basement. I think that's almost solidified already.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Jack, thank you so much for your time here today.
Of course, Brian. Thank you.
And up next for everyone watching or listening along to the long version of this, the NFC East. If you're just watching like the clipped out videos, the next video will be the NFC East whenever that goes live in relation to this one. Stay here. I'm putting out 8 videos for one for each of the divisions, and then a separate one for who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. So stay here on Wicked Sports.